boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you if you're being yourself, fuck them.
Big Los
and Hollywood Kev,
and welcome to another episode of The Noize on iHeartRadio. I feel like we're about to open up with entirely too many apologies. First and foremost, we want to apologize for not having a show last week. It was nothing going on, nothing that was like, oh, they done fell out, they beefing now and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. We legitimately needed a break.
Yeah, that's really what it was.
You know, it was a lot of stuff going on. I recently just moved into my new spot. So, all the hours I've been putting in just to make sure all this stuff goes straight, man, I was exhausted. I'm still exhausted.
Yeah.
I really didn't finish moving in until last night.
Yeah, that's wild. And as hot as it is outside.
Bruh, it's hot.
Yeah.
It is entirely too hot. But, no issues. We just, decided to take a break. We actually should have been a little better with alerting the people as to why there wasn't going to be an episode. But we appreciate you guys sticking in per usual.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate you guys listening today. Second apology. I want to apologize for this episode coming out a day late. We normally kind of teeter back and forth between Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
And, again, this kind of ties into the busy factor of things that's been going on. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
So soon as somebody can cut the check and we ain't got to worry about life so much,
we'll
be good.
You will get a show every Sunday.
Yeah.
Once this becomes the job, we'll never miss an episode.
Yeah,
unless we legit need to take a break.
Yeah, like vacation or something like that. Outside of that, you'll get one.
One of the reasons that prompt for the break, at least for last week, and it's crazy, Dwayne actually brought this to my attention. Bruh, we're going to be on a year of The Noize.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And for the last year, we've been doing this show consistently.
Yeah, it's been consistent.
I think we missed maybe one episode.
Yeah, it was only one.
Because if you weren't on it, then there was somebody that was here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we always had an episode every week except for one.
Yeah, you're absolutely
maybe
right.
two. Maybe two.
I think that's very iffy.
That's a hard maybe. That's a hard maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to take a break, bro.
Yeah.
You need to take that time to collect.
Reevaluate, and get back after it.
Because then you come back stronger than ever. Mm-hmm. Well, unlike you, because your back is.
I'm gonna put up a GoFundMe to buy a whole new one.
You might as well.
Fuck it.
Hey, how much you think back's running for now?
I don't know. You know what? I wonder if we can get on the dark web and find that.
I was about to say there got to be a booster running back somewhere.
Yeah, there got to be.
Hey man, if you out there and you running new backs, let us know what it's hitting for. We trying to get Kev back to 100%.
Excuse me. Shit.
Yes, that's how tired we are.
Yeah. We got. Yeah, if we can find a booster or something like that, I'll listen to him. I see what he's talking about.
At least see what his prices are hitting for. We can, probably try to work out a deal with him.
Yeah.
Otherwise we got to go to the other nigga that's running backs, and then we'll just, see. We'll match. We'll price match.
We'll price
see what we can do with that. I was supposed to have my boy actor Daryl Williams on this episode, but things kind of went awry when we're supposed to record like we normally do on Saturday. We're currently recording on Sunday. Things went a little left and weren't able to record. He will definitely be on next week's episode. He's an actor out of Los Angeles, California. He does a lot of the social media skits. He actually has 2 web series on YouTube right now, actually all over the internet right now. If you haven't had the chance, check out Central Ave and check out Black Boots and look for Daryl Williams II. Look him up, get familiar with his work, because he will be on the show next week. D, if you're listening, brother, I am sorry.
Yeah, we definitely get him on there, and that show's going to be dope.
That show's going to be dope, bro.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. And I think it'll be a good breath after today's show.
Oh, yeah, because it's y'all know what's going on.
Right.
I know y'all have seen the news, and if you're a loyal ear hustler, I know that y'all have heard Usher. Yo, we trolled the shit out of Usher.
Yeah. I think we're not the only ones, but
I know we're not the only ones.
we trolled the hell out of him.
This man may not have herpes.
He may not have it. We'll see. I know his. Oh shit. with this latest person, or the person that I think visibly has been in the media, that one may not have happened at all.
You talking about Quantasia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we touch base on Quantasia, just kind of, wrap this all up. We're not necessarily apologizing for reporting it. We're apologizing for at least not putting a alleged on it. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing was necessarily set in stone.
Right.
One thing that came out that you actually sent me on Twitter is the money that the first girl got was for babysitting or something like that. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. I may have to read it over again.
Yeah, it was something to that effect. It wasn't necessarily what everybody thought it was.
Right. Now, the second girl, we don't know what's up with that.
Yeah,
she ain't doing too much talking. I think hers is still
just disappeared. Like that's what it feels like right now.
It could still be going because I know Usher. He's lawyered up and he's about to go after everybody that's been going after him.
I don't blame him.
Now this third one, Quantasia. And let me be the first to say this. And honestly, this ain't no bullshit. This ain't no politically correct statement. There are a lot of dudes out here who have hidden fetishes. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised if Usher really was a chubby chaser in his, if he's not trying to come out the house with that, that's on him. A lot of dudes out here like big women. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're not human. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So when she came out and she was talking about we had sex and he was grinding all up on me and didn't let me know that he had herpes or whatever, that's not necessarily hard to believe. It's a lot harder to process because it's Usher.
Exactly.
And it's like we said on that last episode,
the caliber of women.
This man has ran through the best of them.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. So when you see somebody like Quantasia, the first thing you think, this chick's lying. That's like the first thing that comes to mind.
Way.
There's no way in hell. But I didn't even go straight to the, there's no way that it happened. As soon as I saw it, Dom even said, she was like, this is the type of chick that niggas cheat with. And I was just looking like, is this who Usher got caught slipping with?
If he really did sleep with her, like you said, he definitely didn't want that one again. That was like, from this point, he probably had her sign a non-disclosure or something. If that was the case.
And she did. She definitely went against that. That's probably why he about to start suing.
Yeah.
Have you noticed she's the only one that he's been speaking out about?
Yeah, maybe. Now, it could be a couple of things. Maybe one, it could be he probably really was like, okay, wait a minute, this shit's going too far.
Now it's going too far.
Or it could have been like, hold up. We had this agreement. You wasn't supposed to do this. I can't just let you say whatever. I have to defend.
I got to defend myself. I got to come back, and then I'm gonna sue you for going against our disclosure law.
Yeah, so it could be one of those. It could be one of those that it absolutely didn't happen. So he's like, wait a minute, this is going too far. Mm. Or it could have happened. And he's like, you wasn't supposed to say shit.
You weren't supposed to say a motherfucking thing.
So
now you know what else? I haven't heard. What about the dude?
I don't know what that thing was. I didn't look too much into that one. Mm-hmm.
It seemed like that just came and gone. But you would think there would be more conversation about Usher sleeping with a dude and giving him herpes than Usher sleeping with a big girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would definitely think that, but
and unless it was, again, I didn't look into the details when that came out. Unless it was something like Usher slept with a woman, gave her herpes, and she slept with that particular gentleman and gave, and he was just blaming it on Usher because that, unless it was something like that. I don't know because I don't look too deep into it, but you're absolutely right. You would think the guy would get more attention.
To me, when I heard there was a guy, I didn't even care about Quantasia anymore. I was like, yo, Usher in the closet too? We don't know Usher Raymond, bro. We don't know.
As many times he told us his name.
He gave us a whole album confessing he still lied. But that's a bigger story.
Yeah.
Like, you think about how long they went after George Michael, how long they went after Ricky Martin. Like, they're constantly in these cats' ears. Yo, you gay, ain't you? Be real. You gay. Just say you gay.
Just admit it.
Just admit it. No one paid attention because it was like, no, Usher couldn't have smashed Quantasia. The dude, maybe. Quantasia, no.
So, I mean, is that to the people's detriment that would say that Usher is more, what's the proper term, bisexual than he is a chubby chaser? Is that what the people are saying?
Well, since we're on this subject, and then we'll double back, there was so much hate for Quantasia. There was so much, fat shaming and shit talking, and like she was getting attacked left and right. Granted, at the end of the day, everything that we know is all alleged. So people were going hard on it. What really surprised me, but at the same time didn't surprise me because we know better, the amount of women that were coming at her.
Yeah. Well, with that one, it was two things. People were flat out hating, but I think some people were looking at, because I guess the girl, like on Instagram, it was like one day, I don't know the days if they were consecutive or not, she posted, "I need some money."
Right. Today's my last day as a normal girl.
As a normal girl. So on the surface, it looked like this was a big setup.
First of all, her calling a press conference,
that's a bit extreme.
That's extreme, but at the same time, look who her lawyer is.
True.
The girl that she got is known for this kind of extreme way of winning these cases, and she probably was like, the more extreme, the better.
True.
You know what I'm saying? To get that bread.
Very true. Only thing I can think of is that Usher's lawyers is probably he has more money to pay for better lawyers.
Definitely, Usher's going to beat this. Usher's definitely going to beat this. Remember when I said on the episode, it's going to take one liar for everyone to be like, "Huh, I don't think Usher has herpes."
Yeah.
And think about it. As soon as Quantasia came out, as soon as those tweets came out, then Usher lawyered up. That's when he finally started to start fighting back. Now everybody's questioning it.
And then that's when the report comes out that he may not have it.
That
report
could have
came out about a week and a half before she even said anything, and it didn't.
It didn't.
So, yeah, you were right about that one.
It could have stopped all this shit from going on. It's coming down to the second girl.
Yeah, to see how strong that case is. Well, I mean, in turn, she would become technically the first girl.
Right.
But, yeah, it's down to her. If her case just kind of disappears, so to speak, then I think this will disappear.
The reason I'm not all the way sold is, like you said, Usher has the money for the best lawyers in the world, but he also has the money to get a real quick STD test. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he has the money to do all this stuff. Go do it.
Yeah.
Prove people wrong. Like, how can I give somebody herpes and I ain't got herpes?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, at best case scenario, he can get off, but to clear his image, he can say that this person I slept with, and then they contracted it from someone else, you know what I mean? And they thought it was me. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. He could have easily been, wait a minute, I got what? Hold up, Doc.
Lifetime needs to do a 2-part miniseries so that way it's actually documented that he went and got the checkup. He went and got all the tests. Like, think about, bro, I'm about to produce it right now. It's going to open up with Usher first getting on his computer and seeing that he's getting sued by the second one. And they talk about the money. Bro, I'm telling you, they make bank off of that. Hey, Lifetime, cut the check. I'll come through. I have producer credits. We can get this thing cracking.
As soon as he opened up his computer and seen or looked on his phone, as soon as he got the text or the phone call, like, "Yo, you been online today?" and they told him what was going on. He should have been calling the doctor immediately. Hospitals are 24 hours. He could have went in there. Look, I don't know. Something might be wrong.
They telling me I got herpes.
Yeah.
We need to dead this right now.
Exactly.
But that's what makes him look guilty, because he didn't decide to speak up about it until Quantasia came out.
Right.
And he's only been speaking against Quantasia. That's another thing that kind of makes him look like, bro, you got to try a little harder. If you're really trying to get this innocent plea, might want to try a little harder.
His best move would just be get the test and I want to say, quote unquote, leak the test that he doesn't have it.
Right.
That deads everything else. That deads her case.
That's everybody's case.
I don't know. Usher, what's the hold up, man?
You see how quick R. Kelly was like, nope. I ain't got no dungeon. They there on their own accord.
You're right.
They chose the turtlenecks.
You're right. You're absolutely right. He could have easily dead all this. This could have been a 24-hour thing.
Right. Dave Chappelle said, "Fuck you, nigga, I'll kill you. Please believe me." Like, you can't just say that somebody has herpes whose entire career is based off
being a sex symbol.
Being a sex symbol.
Yeah.
You know, over-sexualizing all of his music. Like, you can't tell me that somebody like that has herpes and then the first thing that you do is just go quiet, go rogue, go dark. Like, nah, bro, you go get the test. Leak the test. Nigga, you better Snapchat you taking this damn test. At this point, Usher needs to just start Snapchatting this dick. Like, you see bumps?
Right.
Do you see the braille?
Do you see
Ain't nothing on here.
Unless he has something up his sleeve that's just gonna blow up over the media, then that is everything.
Or flare up.
Or yeah, or that. I don't know, because like you said, it's looking a little weird for Usher.
What happens from here?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it just gets swept under the rug, never spoke about again.
Because it's not, I mean, the way I look at it, it's not like he can really, I mean, he can countersue, but it's not like he's going to, they don't have that kind of money.
Right. That's why they suing him.
Right. So, You're right about this. The best bet for him to clear his name and just be dead with the situation.
Clear his name and keep it pushing. I think he's still on tour, isn't he?
Hell if I know. I didn't know Usher was having a tour. I ain't heard nobody talk about it.
He's supposed to be coming out here sometime soon.
Oh. That's gonna be interesting.
Nah, he's still gonna sell out, bro. You saw him cats
sell out.
still at R. Kelly's concerts, and they've been going to his concerts since that sex tape. So yeah, I mean that's another thing. It stopped nothing.
Yeah.
It stopped absolutely nothing. If you're a fan, if you're really robbing somebody, that's dope. First of all, because the last thing you want to happen to anybody is for their money to get fucked up. Right. If it's not true,
right.
You know, again, we're kind of graduating from Usher has herpes to Usher allegedly has herpes until there's more proven going forward. You know, but I would never want to see something affect somebody's money when it ain't true, because that's to me that's the epitome of bullshit.
Exactly, and he can recover if it's not true and it affects his money. Yeah, he'll recover. He'll recoup what he lost, but he still took a loss, an unnecessary loss at that. So you're absolutely right. If it, you know, what I mean, if it's not true, just go ahead and let it be known that it ain't true, and like you said, keep it pushing. Getting
into this next conversation, Charlottesville, Virginia. They had a bunch of neo-Nazis protesting the streets, causing all kind of bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, they had a dude, he mowed down like 30 people.
Yeah, I think he killed one and
killed
injured.
one for sure. Now I've been seeing that 3 are confirmed dead, 2 of them being cops, but I haven't gotten a for sure word from that, because everything has been alleged. That word is starting to get on my nerves. It's fucking up our show, but. When everything was going on, I was moving, so I didn't really get a chance to look into the story and dive into the story. But the more that I heard about it, the more that I started to kind of chime into the conversations and reading more about it, the first thing I thought about was Colin Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. This man can't even get a job in the NFL because of not standing and then taking a knee for the national anthem. Yeah, you have people proudly walking around in Nazi memorabilia, proudly walking around with the Confederate flag, proudly doing the Nazi salute with torches. Mm-hmm. Now, let's not forget this little history lesson. You go back in the time, the last time you see white people in big groups carrying torches, they was about to kill a nigga. You know, so it's
all you got to do is take it back to the 60s.
That's all you got to do. It was only a few years ago.
Yeah, it was 57 years ago?
Yep. That tells you everything that you need to know.
Yeah.
You look at this whole situation, Trump been quiet as hell. You know, cats go out there, they do peaceful protests, they get called Black Lives Matter, they get called aggressors, they get called rioters and all this other shit. But you got cats actually out here, and there's a dead body at that. There's a dead body, potentially there's 3 dead bodies in this entire situation, and you're not treating this how this is. Is this not domestic terrorism?
That's exactly what it is.
Like they're locking streets down. Like didn't they say that Virginia's in a state of emergency or something like that now?
I don't know. I seen that it looked like they were deploying some form of guards, but then I was seeing reports that the guards were part of that particular group.
Probably so.
And were instigating situations as well. Like, there hasn't been any there's been politicians tweeting how they feel, but nobody's really stepped up and been like, hold up, we can't, this is not what's about to happen. You know what I mean? And like you said, the president hasn't said anything about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's because they're doing this to back what Trump's been saying.
That's what, and what I'm saying as well is, like, a lot of those people aren't even Virginia residents. Some of them are coming from across the country, and they came to Virginia to do this, whatever the fuck they call themselves doing. Can't even say it's a protest, because when you protest, usually some form of wrongdoing or enough people have a large enough valid disagreement, you know what I mean, against a company or whatever the case is. I don't know. What is they mad about? You guys are...
Y'all are winning.
Yeah.
No matter what. Y'all won.
You're a white male in America.
What can you literally be mad about as a white man in America, outside of whatever you have going on personally? Mm-hmm. As a white male in America, you're above everybody. You're above white women. You're above all minority people in general. Mm-hmm. You are number one in this country. What are you so upset about?
Exactly. And one thing I also seen too, which I can kind of salute, so to speak, is there were white people actually marching against them. Like, yo, what the fuck is y'all doing?
And they was getting their ass whooped.
Yeah, they were.
That's the shittier
They
part.
were.
Like, damn, cats was actually going against these dudes, and these dudes was whooping these people's ass. Like,
Yeah.
and nothing.
Nothing happened.
Nothing.
Not no riot squad. No
Had
tear
three of
gas.
them been black, it'd have been, bro. They've thrown tear gas at peaceful protests.
Bona fide peaceful protests. It's rubber bullets.
Rubber bullets and sandbags getting shot at peaceful protesters. Someone is dead in this Unite the Right rally, and none of the people that are dead are in the rally.
Exactly.
That's the craziest shit to me. Like, we say all the time that none of this surprises us, but now that I'm actually watching it, I'm watching white people protest to be the dominant race.
Yeah,
I'm watching it happen, and nothing is happening because of it.
Yeah, if there was any type of glimmer of justifying how they may feel against other races, as far as what the stereotypes are, this one did away with all that. Like, you guys are literally, like you said, mad about not feeling like the dominant race.
I saw on shout out to the Kingpin. I saw on his status where he was talking about it. He was going back and forth with somebody. Even Snag D's from the Click, he got involved in it. And I'm like, y'all are really defending what's going on in Virginia right now. This is why African Americans, black people, this is why we say every white person has at least 2% of racism in them. Because what is there to defend? You know what they're out there rallying for. They can call it whatever the fuck they want to, but these niggas is out there in Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah.
These niggas out there doing the Nazi salute. Burning, holding torches and shit. You can't sit here and tell me this has nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
When that's what they're marching for.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, you can't say that.
We've been called rioters, we've been called looters, we've been called thugs and all this other shit for peaceful protests, but it's cats out here. And it had nothing to do, and our protests had nothing to do with color. We just like, yo, stop unjustly killing minorities.
Exactly.
That's all we're saying. These people are marching like, yo, white is better. I don't know if this has anything to do with race. I think this is more like, shut the fuck up. Like, bro, that's such bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Like, something like that can, let me actually stop, because if it happens in Virginia, it can happen anywhere. I won't say something like that can never happen on the West.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that as well. And I'm noticing, I was thinking about this. The places where they have a vast melting pot of cultures is where I don't think that would happen. Places like California, places Vegas. I haven't been Northwest before. I don't know how their demographic is, but New York, think about it. New York, yeah, you got the cops being shady. I'm pretty sure you got that countrywide. But could you really imagine something like that happening in New York, as much of a melting pot they are? Like, in New York, white people may be the minority. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, could be.
They may be. So I'm just saying, if you notice, stuff like that usually happens in the South rural areas.
You know what else I noticed with this situation? Think about every Black Lives Matter protest. Think about every protest in general.
Where the hell is all lives matter? Because some of those people...
Well, no one has yelled Black Lives Matter yet.
No, so, but no, what I'm saying is those people were chanting White Lives Matter. So we chanted Black Lives Matter, and we got responded with All Lives Matter.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
Does All Lives Matter respond to them?
Until someone says Black Lives Matter in that group, it's not their issue. It's not Trump's issue either. Until someone's doing something for African Americans, it's nobody's issue. And we're being shown that currently, today, as we speak, because I believe the rally's still going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know shit is fucked up.
Shit is fucked up. I think my dad even said, he said, man, it's time to get the fuck up out of here.
Yeah, it really is. I was thinking about that last night as well. I was like, you know what? I want to go back to, I want to read about Canadian history. Like, what was a history like?
They was chill, bro. They was, free
like?
slave, well, not free, but fleeing slaves. They went to Canada.
Yeah, I want to know.
They went as north as possible.
Like, I want to, now I'm interested to see other countries' history and probably see what's the benefits of living in some of these other countries outside of, may not have to deal with rallies like this. Because it's crazy. This is supposed to be the greatest country in the world, and yet stuff like this goes on.
Yeah,
our alleged leader hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah, 40. Fuck a 45. I'm sorry, bro. I tweeted him. Did you see my tweet to him?
No, I did not.
Naturally, he's not going to respond.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure people blowing up his shit like that all day.
He forgets how to tweet now all of a sudden. This man been putting out a tweet every day since he been a president.
Oh, yeah. Every day. But the last couple days, my phone broke.
Yeah.
Ain't no Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi fucked up in the White House. If there's anywhere in this world that the Wi-Fi is A1, it's in the White House.
Yeah, they got the top of the alarm. Bro, I realized.
That ain't Cisco in the White House
right,
at
exactly.
all.
Exactly. I guess they said the president has the ability to, like, if something, let's say hypothetically, there's a zombie apocalypse. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to tweet everyone at one time.
I'm sure.
So you know they got some shit at the White House.
They got a bunch of shit going on.
But this man decides that this isn't an important enough issue.
Right. And that's what that's just one of the things that killed me, with this. With this allegedly being the greatest country in the world, but yet we're fucked out of our healthcare. Mm-hmm. Racism is alive and rampant.
Mm-hmm. It's alive and kicking for sure.
It is just fine, man. The fact that it looked like 1961, in Virginia. People were scared to go outside, but this is the greatest country in the world. We got a president who got into office by preaching what they're marching for. Mm-hmm. They even said that these ideals were heralded by Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. We actually should have seen it coming, because when they asked him about the KKK, he was like, I can't say they are and I can't say they aren't. Like, nigga, they're historically are.
Right. Well, what we're seeing is that shit with the KKK. Have you noticed they get to march and protest and do whatever the hell they want to do? There's police protecting them.
Oh yeah,
and these people are inciting hate. You
know what kills me? You think about all the photos that you see with Black Lives Matter, any kind of congregation of black people marching towards the betterment of our culture, of our community, of our race. You always see a cop putting their hands on a nigga. Mm-hmm. You always see a cop spraying, tear gassing, sandbagging, rubber bullets, the whole nine. You always see a cop doing that to a black person. But then you look at these rallies and you see the black cops protecting these people.
Yeah, I seen that picture.
There's
and
a few pictures.
The one in particular that was circulating, you can see, for me, I would have got suspended that day.
Oh yeah, that day.
But you can see You can see the look of disgust that was in his face, but him trying to keep his job.
Oh yeah, you could tell when he saw that camera, he was just like, "This is horrible."
Yeah, but at the same time, there has to be a point where your morals matter more than that job. Because at the end of the day, you can go be a cop somewhere else.
Nah, not in this country. Because as soon as they find out you backed out during a rally, but you was cool being at the Black Lives Matter rally, they're gonna be like, nah, bro, you ain't getting hired here. This ain't our country, bro.
Then maybe that isn't a job for you. But all I'm saying is morals have to come into play somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere, get suspended, do something. Morals have to come somewhere.
I completely agree with you. I completely 110% agree with you.
What's crazy is, man, what I'm noticing about this country, we're on the brink of World War and Civil War all at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest shit in the world.
Because you don't know what's even worse about that? We're going to lose all the way around because everyone that will be involved in these wars hate black people.
Yeah.
Like all of them. They all don't like this.
If I'm
except Kim Jong, I'm pretty sure I think Dennis Rodman saved us.
No, he liked basketball.
And then there's that.
They said it was like top 10 facts I was looking at or something like that. He fucks with basketball.
Wow.
But no, no, not him. If I'm a person that doesn't like America, I want to go to war with America, I would try to wait to let America fuck itself up a little bit before I even do anything. Because we're gonna fuck ourselves up before we get it. If this keeps going on, what's gonna happen is we're gonna hit Civil War, and then if one of these other people that got beef with us is smart, soon as they know we're in Civil War, they should be like, "Oh, we finna fuck y'all up too."
All right, wait until the Great Divide and then go in. Because what comes from this?
Nothing.
Where do we go from a white nationalist rally? Unite the left. I'm sorry, unite the right. Fucking, we're white, so we all right. Where do we go from here with this? Like, what's the mission outside of what's unspoken?
Honestly, I truly don't know. Like, if ever there was a time in my life, and not only with the country but personal as well, where I don't know, this is that time.
This is definitely one of them. Like, you look at some of the shit they're talking about that is going on with it. One of the things that they mentioned was the, taking down of the Confederate flags from different national monuments. It was also Colin Kaepernick taking the knee. If this is if these are some of the roots of the issue, how does this rally make sense? And we see it in the rally because y'all niggas are wearing Nazi clothes. And this is what y'all are trying to preserve. This is what y'all trying to keep going and carry on. Like, we've seen the pictures. We've seen the picture of the little white kid in a Klan outfit playing with the black officer shield. Like, we've seen that. We've talked about it on the show as well. Hate is taught. You don't just wake up and be like, I don't like niggas. Like, none of that happens. You're told black people are bad and here's why. And we got to rally against this. And then as the years go on, you just develop more and more of a hate.
More hate. Anytime something happens to you, and it could be, a black person cuts you off while you were driving. That just tacks on
nigger.
more and more shit
More
for
and
you
more.
to hate. Like, I truly, as a youth, I can't remember a time where I woke up and I was like, I hate white people or anything like that.
Exactly.
There hasn't been a time.
Exactly.
You even stereotypes are taught because you hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You hear, you growing up, white people smell like this. So naturally, growing up, you assume white people smell like this. So when they don't, you're like, oh,
some of them actually be wearing Axe. Okay.
right. You know what I mean? Like, it's stereotypes are taught, hate is taught, and honestly, I don't know how to fix something like that. I don't even know what to suggest to fix something like that.
And it's so wild because outside of this having, no real resolve, this is just them flexing their power. Like, look, we could rally too and nothing's going to happen to us. You can't go back to how it was because it's just been established. They with the shits.
Right.
Majority of the white people out there aren't for black people. We've seen that this country isn't for black people. And now we're seeing that the president isn't for black people, even though we've known that.
Instead of putting the wall at Mexico, why don't we just... They can take the East Coast. We'll take the West Coast.
We'll stay with the good tree and the music.
We'll cut the line down somewhere between the middle of Texas. And look, we can go our separate ways. We can do our trade or whatever the hell it's going to be. Because if this is what it's going to be for us to... If we have to see this type of stuff daily just to live with each other, then we might as well not live with each other.
Might as well be divided. We might as well go back to segregation. But the fucked
no,
up
I
thing
won't
is...
say I don't. If we're going to go back to segregation, it has to be on a bigger scale. Like,
no, it has to be set up. It has to be set up completely different because before it's like, nigga, you could whoop my ass and actually not while I was in the middle of me saying that sentence. When did we get out of it?
Yeah, well,
because you can kill us legally in the street.
Yeah, you can
and get off for it.
Well, I don't think that was part of segregation. That was just we know we're white and we gonna band together.
It was
because
think about it. When those teens when they sat in that diner, they were beat to shit. They had people threw shit on them, whooped their ass, spit on them the whole nine. Not one of them little white kids went to jail.
Right, that's what I'm saying, because them white kids are sticking together. The segregation is, don't come to this diner, don't drink this, don't go to that school.
I know what segregation is. I'm saying the laws around it. The fact that, you get put in these situations because there wasn't no white people don't go here. It was like, no, colors don't go here.
Yeah, colors don't go here.
And colors drink from here, colors drink from there. I'm talking about a segregation to where you got your shit, I got mine. But we're gonna be even. We're either gonna be even or it's gonna be a fucking issue.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. If we can't coexist together, then we might as well go our separate ways. And maybe later down the line, we can figure some shit out. Maybe when we get some of these old fucks up out of here.
You know what's sad? I don't even think that's gonna stop. You saw how young the cats in that crowd was.
Yeah, some of those were young, but that goes from them being taught by a lot of those old folks, and those old folks still around to teach to the people coming up. If we can get,
you don't think that shit gonna get passed down?
I think it will, but I think it's thinning. I think no. I'm not talking about with our generation.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about with like my kids' generation. It's thinning. I think by the time my kids, and once you have kids, once they get to our age, will it still be around? Yes, but it'd be a lot thinner than what it is now.
Only reason I disagree is because we thought it was a lot thinner than what it was before.
No, hell no. I never thought that.
I'm not saying us. Obviously, we look at things a lot differently. I'm speaking as a whole. You know what I'm saying? People majority white people, were saying that we're nowhere near, our race relations have improved since the time before
until
then.
I hear a mass amount of black people or colored or people of color say something like that, I can never take the oppressor word for that.
And a lot of times it's going to be the cats that's on the oppressor's side. A lot of them Ben Carson dudes.
Yeah, that idiot. But no, I couldn't. The white people can say, yeah, the race is a lot better than what it was. Yeah, because you the motherfucker saying it.
Right.
It's easy for you to say that. You're white. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just hope whatever good solution can come from this, it needs to happen. It needs to happen like now. Like
that's the
right
fucked up
now.
thing. Honestly, I don't see a solution. Like I'm not for segregation whatsoever. I'm all about everybody being with everybody.
Right.
I got motherfuckers on all sides. You know what I mean? But they're making it really hard to respect this quote equality between everyone when if we try to do something, we try to speak like you look at the country in general. Bruh, they were about to get rid of one of the last Indian reservations to build a fucking pipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all already took the country from them. Now y'all want to get rid of it for a goddamn pipe. Mm-hmm. And only people that were going against it really were like minorities and white hippies. The rest of the cast was just like, we need the pipe.
Yeah, I think in order a start, now that I can think about it, I think a start in order for stuff to get better is we need to have more white people speak up about stuff like this instead of just sitting there being quiet. It's be people like, I get people on my timelines that are not black or whatever, and they love our music, love our culture, may be with a white guy, a black guy or a black girl, whatever the case is, but when something like this goes on, they're completely silent. Those type people, or people, not even those type people, even if maybe you feel white people should date and be with white people, but you ain't got no issues with black.
Right.
You need to be the ones to speak up in addition to us saying, yo, this shit can't fly. I truly believe you probably got some white people out there that are like, yeah, I love being white. I love everything white, but I don't hate you. But if this opportunity comes along to me because I'm white, I'm not going to decline it because you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can say all day, I don't have a problem with you. I'm just more proud of my race. But as soon as you become a problem to me, I'm going to use my privilege to be better than you.
Right.
So that's why, and that's why I said it's always that 2% in them, because they know they will always have that upper hand. Unless it's one of those kind of people, again, like Eminem or Michael Rappaport, you expect them to be on that side because that's all they know. That's the only white people that truly speak up on our side that are actually, they're not a part of it, but they're in tune.
They're either in tune
to the
or they
culture.
grew up in so much. You get that one white boy who grew up in the black neighborhood. He doesn't try. Well, you get some that try to be black,
Right.
but you get let's say you get the one white boy like Eminem that grew up in a black neighborhood. So that's what they know. He's still himself. He still knows he's white, but he's like, yo, just because he's black doesn't mean I'm not finna ride for him. You get,
Right.
Yeah, I think you get the ones like that, and
even Andrew Schultz, even though he plays devil's advocate a lot,
Yeah.
but you could tell, like, just from his upbringing, that he sees the bullshit. He doesn't think everything is as black as white as it's always put, and sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't, but you could tell in general, like, he knows what's right and what's wrong. No one listens to him when he speaks on this shit.
And at the end of the day, that's exactly what this is. What's right and what's right
Literally.
and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boils down to. And flat out, when you try to use your race, or when you think that you're superior because of something that you couldn't control, that's wrong.
Right.
It'd be different if you think you superior because you created something and this particular person can't create that. So you're like, I got an upper hand on you. That's different. That's something you created, but you didn't ask to be what you are.
Right.
You know what
I
I mean?
couldn't stop this. I came out the womb black.
Exactly. So for you to associate that with more power, that's wild to me. That's wild to me, and flat out, it's wrong. At the end of the day, it's wrong, and that's what it boils down to: what's right and what's wrong.
And it gets scarier because, dude, I don't care what Trump said in any of those addresses and any of those tweets. He normalized the hell out of this rally. He made this rally seem like a Black Lives Matter rally. But you didn't respect the Black Lives Matter rally.
Well, what you have to realize is Trump is what, 70 something?
Yeah,
He's 70 something, right? So let's say if Trump is 70, let's say he's 70. That means he was alive when segregation was going on.
Oh, yeah.
In his teen years, which are arguably some of the most influential years of your life. So he grew up seeing white people do whatever to people of color and it being accepted, it being okay. So now that he's in this position that he's in now, I highly doubt that it's going to change. I mean, he may be able to suppress it because maybe he's done some business with somebody and it came out good, but you're not changing that man's mind. You're not. And I'd be, if somebody was to say Trump wasn't brought up in a household that preached hate, that'd be baffling as fuck to me.
Yo, so I'm reading these tweets from this former KKK leader, David Duke, and his tweet handle is at Dr. David Duke. We actually need to get this on a shirt. Find him, troll him. So when Trump made his comments, Duke just started tweeting at him. One of his tweets said, I would recommend you take a good look in the mirror and remember it was white Americans who put you in the presidency, not radical leftists. That's one. Our people were peacefully assembling and attacked by the same radical leftists who invade your meetings and attacked your supporters. We ain't never put hands on a Trump supporter. They was whooping our ass at all them rallies. So after decades of white Americans being targeted for discriminated and anti-white hatred, we come together as a people and you attack us. This is all going towards Donald Trump. But he's exactly right. This is their country. And that's really how they feel. A lot of white people feel like this is their country and we don't need to be here, even though we were brought here.
The sad part is, that, and this is why there's some mental illness, because at the end of the day, it's not their country. It's not. Just because you come over and you invade something, which is exactly what you did, does not make it yours. You took it. If we would go back to Europe, you want your country, go to Europe. Go over there and let it be that. But tweets like that, and of course Trump isn't going to say nothing, but
at all.
You got stuff like that going on, and people like him think it's normal. People like him think it's okay. He
It's
probably
cool.
feels like he didn't say anything wrong.
Oh, yeah, at all. You know what's so crazy? Within a year, maybe even to the day, but within a year, we've seen alt-right get big, and now this shit. Mm-hmm. Bruh, this is white people trying to take their country back now. At least some of them.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, the good majority.
It's true. And the difference is, eventually, I believe in my people enough to eventually, and I hope, unfortunately, it's going to take something big for it to happen. But eventually, I believe my people is going to be like, hold up, this shit ain't going to fly. You can try some shit, but it's not going to fly. And I say that because I think, in my heart of hearts, I think a vast majority of white people feel the way that they have been feeling is because they know that they are becoming the minority at alarming rates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it be from people that are born here or people that are coming here, white people are becoming the minority. And I think that they feel if they become the minority, it no longer becomes, quote unquote, their country.
They don't like the shit. Straight up. They don't like what they've been putting black people through, what they've been putting all minorities through for years. In the freest country in the world, they're pissed that they're now about to be in the exact same position that they've been holding us to. Mm-hmm.
And the reason they're pissed about it is because they probably feel that once they do become the minority, they would get treated as how they've been treating us. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, I just want my people to be safe. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say go out there and hurt nobody, but don't let nobody hurt you. But be safe, because we in some, as you say, scary times.
We're in scary times, dude. But in this point, man, I ain't even scared.
Yeah.
At this point, man, if somebody come with that bullshit, at least over here.
Yeah. This way, and it's like you said, it's scary times, but I'm not scared either. It's more so like this shit is really going on.
Yeah,
and like you said, it's being normalized.
We're seeing a resurface of the '60s. Mm-hmm. It's slow. It's a slow creep. But I mean, if you really go back over the last 5 years, all the black people that have been killed and all the killers that's walked, all the rallies that's been going against, all the protection these rallies that's been going against being one culture in a sense. All of this mirrors before Martin Luther King was killed. All of this mirrors it. Literally the only difference is we ain't been lynched. That's it.
No. There's people in this house that's been happening.
And then, I forgot that some of those have been happening.
You've been having those one-offs, but I've been seeing at least once a month.
It's not as popular to glorify it as they used to back in that time. I'll say that.
Yeah. With that, yeah, it's not as popular growth. But now people want to be secretive about it, so to speak. Hence
in the closet races.
Right. Hence why there was no cops originally when this happened. I honestly believe majority of those people were cops.
Yeah.
They were marching.
Pretty
Majority
sure.
of them were cops or whoever. So, and that's probably why there was none there to say, hey, take your asses home.
And that's why I love black social media so much. People were sharing like some of the cat's personal information, and they're like, yo, this person work here and he live here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, share. Let's go ahead and get that out there.
Exactly.
But you know what? They probably work for cats who agree. And they're just like, we can't be out there because we're on a higher scale than you, but you go ahead and you represent.
Yeah, it could be that as well. It very well could be that. It's weird, man. It's weird, and I don't know where it has to get better. I'm gonna hit up Drake and see what Toronto like.
Something he plays both sides. We gonna need him on this one.
I'm gonna hit up him and see what Toronto like. See how it was living there. Long as I can get my regular TV stations, I can live there.
I'm Gucci. I would say London, but they've been getting blown to shit.
Yeah, no, I'm
so many different situations. I'm cool off of that.
I'm good over there.
My family out there.
No, I think I go to Canada, and you know what? Even though I know this part of the U.S., but they don't be catching a lot of shit. I go to Hawaii too.
Right?
Because they're so far off.
They consider the rest of the country the mainland.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So even they were like, "Nah, we ain't a part of that."
Yeah,
brother.
we with them, but we ain't with them. Exactly.
Like you can fly here without a passport. That's where it stops.
Exactly.
That's where it stops.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. Just be safe out there.
And that's why I do want to take the time to salute Marshawn Lynch. I am so glad. Y'all, first of all, beast mode, he's never given a fuck.
Never.
And you know he's never given a fuck. So the fact that now Colin Kaepernick's out, you can get rid of Colin Kaepernick and say, oh, it's because, he didn't really have, the greatest season. And he was really very productive and yada, yada. Marshawn Lynch is a Super Bowl champion.
Exactly.
And in his retiring season, he went to the Super Bowl again.
and would have won the Super Bowl if
they handed it to him. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do now? You gonna kick him off? And Oakland Raiders, they've been the rebels of the NFL. They've been the bad boys. You know what I mean? So
honestly,
what comes from this?
Yeah, I don't know what comes from it. It's good somebody of his magnitude, especially coming back, is doing this. But honestly, man, and we need more people, more black people, to just not. I honestly believe if they quit worrying about their money so much, and let's say they don't play a game, you know how opening weekend, hypothetically, let's say opening weekend for football. Is it this? No, it wasn't this. Next, is it next weekend?
I think it's next weekend.
Let's say the black players don't show up to their game. Now, the worst that's going to happen to them is maybe they can get fined or whatever the case is, but they're not going to particularly lose their job. But you know how bad that would be for the NFL?
It'd be horrible.
Like
wouldn't be no damn players.
Yeah, they would not have enough people to play a game. You know what I mean?
I look at how Marshawn Lynch, he got his money up, did what he had to do, and he retired. Cool. He's only 31 now.
Yeah.
I agree with you. If players, I think that's one of the things that's actually keeping players from truly doing something like that because they didn't manage their money the way that Marshawn Lynch did. All this money went into nonprofits and went into charities and stuff like that. All that shit is taxable, so he saw a lot of that back anyway. And that's why I think he truly doesn't have a fear. Like, y'all can kick me off the team, I'm gonna be cool, but y'all need me, and and now you have to try to explain why am I not on your team when I'm one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game.
Exactly. And like you said, if we can get more players to actually stand up and say something or be vocal, do something, then maybe we can see a change start to trickle somewhere. I don't think athletes realize how much weight that they hold. You
know who would have to do something for us to see any kind of change?
Tom Brady. If Tom Brady was like, hey, honestly right now, even though I know the NFL Players League finally said they're going to help Kaepernick. If Tom Brady was to be like, I'm not playing until Kaepernick gets a job, this man would be hired in 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's on the Patriots, he'll be hired in 24 hours.
I don't think he'd be playing, but he definitely have a job.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and that's one thing that does piss me off. They're going to find a way to shut everybody the fuck up. They'll bring Cap in as like a fucking offensive coach or something. You know what I mean?
They're gonna find
or
a way
offensive assistant. He ain't gonna be that high,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But they're definitely gonna find some way to be like, look, he's back in the NFL. Y'all cool? Y'all happy now? But I don't even think he even wants to be there.
Yeah. It's hard when you watch You grew up, I'm assuming, as a football player, grew up down his whole life loving the game. Loving football. Then you get there. You get to the so-called promised land in your sport, and it's you see how it really is watered down, how this owner of this team gets to dictate my everything. Mm-hmm. It's modern-day slavery in a sense.
Yep.
And again, he probably doesn't even want to be an NFL. It's probably one of those things, I'll go if they call, but if they don't, I'm really not tripping.
And I'm pretty sure that's why Goodell has no problem making all the comments and doing all the shit that he's doing, because he's already hated. People already do not like Roger Goodell.
He gets booed every chance. Every time his face is shown in public, he's booed.
He's booed. So he's like, fuck it, what y'all gonna hate me more? Like, okay, I'm gonna get this bread and I'm gonna make these niggas dance. So trust me, we're good.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't think it's gonna truly catch anyone's attention until white players do it.
Mm-hmm. And it's gonna have to be big name white players. It's gonna have to be white. Can't be a white player that's the 52 man player on the team. It has to be someone that's a starter, someone that's
it can't be a free safety. It
has to be somebody prominent. If you get 5 white quarterbacks to be like, we're not playing until some shit start changing, all hell is gonna break loose.
I think one of two things can happen. You can either have all the white players take a knee, or all the black players protest the games.
Yeah,
like say, well, we're not coming until this, that, and the third. That's the only.
They need to do something like a lockout. Remember how like the NBA when the players wasn't happy, they was like, that's exactly what needs to happen.
That's what needs to happen.
But it's not a lockout per se, far as their money goes. It's a lockout per se, far as how shit is. Hey, this shit is out of line. We not rocking with this. We ain't playing until shit gets better.
And Tom Brady ain't gonna be the one to do it because Trump is his guy. So he's definitely not going to do it. But if we were to see somebody, a higher caliber white player, like take a legit knee, then it's going to be like, all right, now we got to address this. Now we're upsetting our own. Mm-hmm. What's wrong?
Exactly. It's going to have to take that. It's going to have to. It's going to have to take somebody of prominence more than us to say something in order for shit to start going. Because obviously they're not listening to us.
Oh no, and they never will.
So. I don't know, man. Like I've been saying, be safe out there, people.
Be safe. Strap up. Strap up. And I mean that exactly, yeah, in multiple ways. Refer to Usher.
Yeah. Strap up. We don't want you catching herpes or getting beat up by white folk.
Both of those need to not happen.
Right.
This has been a very somber episode, but
that's why next week's episode is going to be...
It's going to be lit. Yeah. Daryl, I need you to come with the funnies, bro. We got to bounce back from this episode, man. But when there's bullshit going on, you know... The Noize is going to talk about it, and the Noize is going to criticize it. Like Kev said, black people, man, y'all stay safe. Pray for the folks in Virginia, and pray for the country. That's the only real option at this point.
Right.
Kev, where can they find you at, bruh?
Same as usual, _Hollywood Kev on Twitter and Instagram.
And MRI?
Nope. Can't find me there. Yeah, that's it for me, man.
At Big Los UTC. All the social medias. Snap me. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call that a show.
Yeah. Be safe, people. Again,
be safe, good
can't
people.
Stress that enough.
As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And not as always, we appreciate your patience.
Yeah.
As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.